There you
I
are.
see.
Here I am. All right, guys, welcome everyone. Aren't we excited today? It's always an honor and an opportunity to be able to enjoy time with my fellow Synergy teammates and be able to share knowledge. I think we all have a little bit of God-given knowledge. We all have a little bit of specialty that we have as a talent, as the good word calls it. And once in a while, we have to just get out of our comfort zone and share some of that talent. So that being said, it's a little past 9, so let's get started with our synergy. I'll share my screen, and I wanted to share something that I started, well, I'd say a couple of years ago. It's called a teleprompter. So please confirm you could see my screen.
We can.
All right, so I'll just start the presentation here. So welcome everyone. I'm David Munoz, and I just want to share how to create short videos using your phone, your cellular phone, and an application called Teleprompter. There's many teleprompter applications out there. You can certainly use the one you feel most comfortable with, and the one I use is called Teleprompter. I think it's one of the first ones that came out. So what we'll do here is create a step-by-step instructions as far as what I did in creating short videos to grow our Synergy business. So I just wanted to go over what you're going to need in order to be able to create short videos that are fun, engaging, and informative. The purpose being, of course, to share your story, whatever story it is in your Synergy journey, and grow your Synergy business by way of orders that will be stimulated through these short videos. When you have a story to share, you have to be specific with the information you share. In my case, I want to share a story about nitric oxide therapy and how it had an impact on me and changed my life. You use a teleprompter because you are also a beginner, and the teleprompter will help guide you through the process of explaining your story without having to memorize a script. If you are like me, sometimes in conversation, I tend to ramble. And that happens to us, especially when we're excited about something and we want to give all the details at one time. So the teleprompter script will help you stay on topic and approach things one step at a time in your delivery. Teleprompter app allows you the opportunity to edit your script on the go. So if you are, as you will see in a few minutes, reading from the teleprompter as it scrolls, and you notice there is a error or something you wish to change, you can stop it, change it, save it, and then re-record it. And of course, here again, I'll say it again, you don't need to memorize before creating the video. You just write your script. Okay, what will you need? Well, wait a minute, David, wait a minute. You're starting with number 2. What's that all about? It's on purpose. I'll get to number 1 in a moment. But first, number 2, you'll need a cell phone. You'll need, again, the Teleprompter app. And you'll need a script. What is the number 1? You need to be uncomfortable. In our Synergy journey, and I do this to myself, and I think we all need to do it because, as I said, we all have talents, but unless we make ourselves uncomfortable, we cannot share that talent. And what I mean is Dr. Abraham Twersky, the gentleman you see here on the screen, is told a story about how does a lobster grow. And it fascinated me. Look it up in YouTube. I encourage everyone to take a note and look up How a Lobster Grows by Dr. Abraham Twersky. It's a 2-minute short video that he says the lobster grows out of its shell by being uncomfortable. In other words, as a lobster grows, the shell is hard and rigid, but his body is really soft. In order for the lobster to grow, they usually go under a rock or hide away somewhere. And they leave their shell and they grow a new shell. And this happens over and over and over again as the lobster grows. So the stimulus, in order to allow the lobster to grow, is being uncomfortable. So just to add a little joke here that Dr. Twersky shares, he says if the lobster was able to drink any of the drugs we have these days, Percocet or whatever it is they call it for calming your nerves, maybe the lobster wouldn't grow, or maybe they wouldn't mind being uncomfortable. But in our case, we want to be uncomfortable. So that should be number one. All right, so let's go into the steps. First of all, you have to write the script. Write the script first to make sure when it scrolls, it's all intentional and it delivers the message you want to deliver. So what you want to share is when you have your script done is speak your script out loud. Repeat it. I must repeat my script 30 times, 40 times before I actually feel comfortable enough to record it. And even when I record it, when you use a teleprompter app, you can re-record, delete, re-record. And it's short and succinct, as you will see. I'll show you at the end of the presentation, the script I did and the actual recording. So you speak your script out loud. And if possible, as you speak it out loud, try to look in the mirror, look at your facial gestures and see how comfortable or uncomfortable you are. If you are uncomfortable, that's great, because the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. Make sure you sound conversational and natural. Listen for words or phrases that you repeat. And by all means, do what I do, or find yourself, or if you're lucky enough to work with Dan Hammer, work with Dan or me or whoever, and let's look at your script. Let's practice. Let's edit it. Let's rephrase it. Just work with it until you feel really, really comfortable and you think it's good. Your partner will help you and give you good feedback in terms of what the recommendation is that you can make the script more yourself, better. So this is what I do once the script is done, once I feel comfortable with it. Again, you might be able to do it differently, but I choose not to retype the script on teleprompter. What I do is I copy and paste the script onto an email. I send myself an email. When I receive the email, since I can get email on my phone, I copy the entire script. Then it's in memory when I copy it. And then I open the teleprompter application and I paste the script into a I compose a new script here. So here's the screen I see. In the teleprompter, you select compose new script right here. As you can see, there's other files that the teleprompter saved from other scripts I've written. You name the script. Once you've pasted it in, you name it. Oh, I'm sorry. You create a new script, you name the script, and then you paste it. You will see this screen, type your script here. Well, the teleprompter thinks you want to type it, but no, you just click on the screen, click that paste option right there, and your script is pasted right here. And what you will see is something like this. So you're looking at the phone, your script has been pasted onto the teleprompter app, and you can adjust if you wish. If you're like me, you can't see, you need to make the font a little larger, because you will be holding the phone in your hand or on a tripod, whatever your comfort level is. You can set the speed of the scrolling so that if you find you're talking too fast or the script is going too slow, you can actually have a toggle there where you can adjust the speed. You could also adjust the transparency of the letters themselves, or the font, or the script. so that if you want to record and see your face as you're recording, you don't want the words to be so dark that you cannot focus on your gestures. So you make the letters lighter, and that way, as it scrolls, you can still read them but see yourself. Again, the magic of all this is that you can do it over and over and over again until you feel comfortable. You can look at yourself, you can replay it. It's not live, so you don't have to let the world see it. And when you're comfortable with it, then you just save it. And that's your work of art. So you also use your hands when you're recording. Use your hand. Make sure you look natural. And part of looking natural is doing certain body gestures, maybe smiling, as I said. Looking away sometimes will help you look more natural, because when you're having a conversation with a person, you're not looking them into the eyes all the time. Sometimes you look away just to bring forth a thought. Make sure you have good lighting. The sample I will show you will be outside, outdoors, but you can just do it indoors. I've done it in rooms where I have a light shining on me just so I could see it. And of course, I always say smile. That being said, I want to really emphasize, I am not a pro at this. I stumble, I make mistakes, and sometimes I see old videos and I criticize myself. And I feel that's good, because it continues to make me uncomfortable and strive to do it better and better all the time. So here's my script. I'm going to read the script, and then I'll also show you the video with the script as I've recorded it. So I say, you might be wondering why I'm standing outside an emergency room. Well, 10 years ago, I was concerned. Now, that doesn't mean I've been standing here for 10 years. But 10 years ago, my doctor told me I was a pre-diabetic. And since both my parents had diabetes and my mom had died from diabetic complication, I thought there was no way out for me. No matter how much I watched my diet, it was only a matter of time before I got diabetes and would end up here at the hospital. But then I heard about nitric oxide therapy, a natural way to address pre-diabetic concerns as well as repair and reverse damage to my cardiovascular health. It opens my eyes and made me smile and be happy on the camera. In tomorrow's video, in tomorrow's short video, I will share how nitric oxide therapy works and why everyone should know about it. And oh, one more thing, this is not pseudoscience, but Nobel-winning information. Again, I go back, Nobel Prize winning information that everyone needs to know about. You see why it's so important to read and reread it? It's just a matter of practicing and practicing. So here we go. This is what it looks like on your phone. You might be wondering why I'm standing outside an emergency room. 10 years ago, I was concerned and that doesn't mean I've been standing here for 10 years. One more. And here's the video. You might be wondering why I'm standing out here outside an emergency room. Well, that's because 10 years ago, I was concerned. Now, that doesn't mean I've been standing out here for 10 years, but 10 years ago, my doctor told me that I was pre-diabetic. Since both of my parents had diabetes and my mom unfortunately died from diabetic complications, I thought there was no way out. No way out for me, no matter what I did, how I exercised, or watched my diet. It was only a matter of time before I got diabetes and would end up here at the hospital. But something happened. I discovered something called nitric oxide therapy, a natural way to address pre-diabetic concerns, as well as repair and reverse damage to my cardiovascular health. You know, it opened my eyes and changed my life. In tomorrow's video, I will share how nitric oxide therapy works and what everyone should know about it. Oh, and one more thing. This is not pseudoscience, but Nobel Prize winning information that everyone really needs to know about. Okay, so that was the recording. And the nice thing about this recording is that, like any recording you do, the recording will be on for everyone to see as long as it's up there posted on YouTube. So even though you're uncomfortable in the process of doing it, you have gotten out of your old shell. And that's what I do time and time again. I say, David, what you're going through, what you're feeling when you're preparing this video, or learning something new, or getting certifications, you're feeling uncomfortable. And that is what's supposed to happen. And the reason I get excited, and I am so encouraged by giving the opportunity once in a while to share some of what I know with you, my Synergy colleagues, is that I would encourage you to, when you come on these Saturday webinars, or when you hear of something really, really exciting, look at yourself in the mirror and say, am I uncomfortable or am I too comfortable? What do I need to do more to help grow my Synergy business, and who can help me? And then reach up to your upline or your Synergy partner and work together to do something to grow your Synergy business and improve yourself and get out of your old shell and into the new. So that's my short presentation today. Short video, short presentation, and the hopefully this will be helpful for you to do something with your Synergy business. Dan, I don't know if you wish to add any comments to what I said, because you're my business partner in creation of this video.
No, David, I appreciate what you've shared in that. And, you know, if people start on the journey and don't worry necessarily about the results, but continue what you talked about, a process of improvement as you keep doing these things, you get better and better at it. Excuse me, you get better and better at it. And so I appreciate what you've shared with people. Let's open this up, see if people have any questions that they would like to ask you.
Thank you. Any questions from anyone regarding this?
Hey, David.
Hey, Judy.
Yeah, and Dan is right. You know, wanting perfection is the basis for procrastination.
Yes.
So
Well said.
I really love this. I've been using a teleprompter for years in my videos. So I appreciate what you're saying. I do not use this app, and I hunted for an app called Teleprompter. And there's tons of them, but none of them just called Teleprompter. I'm wondering if you can show me the picture of the app.
There it is right there. There's a blue one that is the more advanced ones. This one's the free one. So if you search on your app or teleprompter and you see this particular logo or icon, that's the one you want to download. Then there's a paid one that has more bells and whistles that's blue.
Okay, so I don't see that. So it's
called now, you know, obviously there's so many, sometimes you have to scroll a little bit, but this was one of the first ones that came out. I've been using it for well over 5-6 years.
Maybe it's not free, because I do see a Teleprompter Premium. Mm-hmm. Oh, there is that's not the same logo though. There's a simple teleprompter.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, I think the important thing is to get started with a teleprompter, and certainly reach out, Judy, to me. We could talk later and I could help you.
Absolutely. Because the one that I show does not come up on the phone.
Okay. Well, we'll look at it again. Maybe there's an additional word or something else added to the name that I'm missing, but I'll be glad to share this one with you.
Awesome. Also, when you were talking about using gestures, that is so true. And I remember when I made my first video, I did it with a professional videographer. And one of the hints that he gave me is that when we gesture, many times we gesture at our waist. And so when you're using a phone, you cannot see the gestures because they're down at the waist. So to be aware to gesture closer to your chest than your waist, so people can see your gestures.
See, I'm learning something all the time. Thank you, Judy. I appreciate that, sharing that thought, because that helps me be more aware for future videos. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else has? Go
I
ahead.
just want to follow up on something that Judy talked about with regards to this perfection. You know, when people look at videos, they're not looking for slick actors to try and convince them to do something. They're looking for authentic people sharing their stories. And that's what you did, David. You were authentic and you shared your story, which is your family. Your family was a family that had diabetics in it. Your mom died from diabetes. Your dad had diabetic complications. So you know firsthand the pain and the experience of that. Again, don't worry about perfection. Just worry about writing a good story. And then practice that story like you talked about, so that you don't go off on tangents. I don't know if you realized when you read the script to us, you got to one line and you went off on a tangent because you were excited. And,
Yes.
and so that tangent, although you were excited about it, it threw you off. And again, that's the purpose of the script. Is a script is designed for you to be able to share your excitement, but stay within the parameters of the script, because it's worded in a way that allows you to share a compelling story and at the same time stay on track, so that people will hear the passion of what you've got, hear your story, and because they most likely either experience your story or have people that they know in their family who are going through the same trial and tribulation that you're sharing with them, they want to know what you have to offer them. So it makes them desire to get this next video from you to understand, okay, what is this nitric oxide therapy and how can it benefit either myself because I'm diabetic or family members that have diabetes.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. And what you say about the personalizing it or making it your own is important, because it's people do want to see that authenticity and know about your story as an individual.
Yeah.
And one of the other things that you did, David, that people may not have realized is that you did not just read it, you paused, like you were thinking about what you were going to say, even though it was in front of you. Those pauses and the changes in your tone makes it real. It makes it like you are just really telling the story and not reading the story.
Right. And there's one area there where I paused and looked at the camera and it says, it changed my life. And it's so true. It's so true. It did change my life, because imagine had I not known about nitric oxide therapy, there may have been another outcome. So yes, you're absolutely right. Even though I was reading it, when I came to that point, I wanted to deliver the message as sincerely as I could. So that's important.
And Judy, that goes back to the point that David made in his presentation, that when you write your script, so often people read their script mentally. And what it sounds to you mentally is different than how it sounds to you verbally. So it's really important that people read their script out loud, because then they're going to read it in their pattern of speech. Everyone has a natural way of how they speak. They have natural pauses to how they put their thoughts into words. And that's what you're listening for when you read your script. You're reading the script to make sure that it sounds like you are actually having a conversation with a person and be able to then share with them that information.
Great. Do we have any other questions or comments this morning? Wonderful. Well, Dan, it's been such a pleasure meeting with you, Dan and Judy and Donald, everybody else that's on the line. Thank you for the opportunity to share what I know, my personal testimonial, and a little bit of knowledge on how to create your own videos with Teleprompter. So go out there, make yourself uncomfortable, and have fun. Thank you all.
Thank you, David.